hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Darin and this is another edition of FCB Reports. And going into this game against Leganes at Camp Nou, there were big expectation for an eye-catching performance by Barcelona, especially after we trashed Mallorca away from home. And ultimately, Barcelona won with 2 goals, guys, but the performance wasn't convincing. Far from it. And to put it mildly, this was nothing like the first game. This was the antithesis of the Mallorca game. However, not everything was terrible. There were a couple of positives to take from this game because we have Ansu Fati and he was majestic as always. Plus, Ricky Puig got some much needed playing time and we will discuss all of that and much more and cap up the video with our match player ratings. So make sure you stick around for that. So let's do it. Vamos! Barcelona started the game with intensity. There was a couple of good plays here and there, but all of that fizzled away like bubbles from stale champagne in a blink of an eye. And despite Barcelona controlling most of the game, the play was lethargic and predictable. The players were sluggish and lacked intensity. There was little cutting edge about them. The passing was predictable and most of the passes they made was horizontal passes. And the flow of the game suffered because of that. We struggled to create any meaningful chances against Leganes. In fact, Leganes had the best clear-cut chances early on in the game, and it should have been 1-up early on for them. But Langley, he saved the day as he retreated and blocked the ball on the goal line. Leganes was defending deep in a 5-3-2 formation, and Barcelona had to be patient here. They were looking to grind down the opposition and wait for them to get tired. This was ultimately their strategy, because going into this game, Barcelona knew that Leganes were going to defend deep and park the bus. Leganes did exactly what was expected of them. They sit at the very bottom of the table. They have barely scored any goals this season. They have only scored 22 goals and still they were able to create chances against Barca. This is not a good sign going forward. And with this kind of performances, stronger teams will definitely put us to the sword. And strictly speaking, Barca was terrible on the day. But having said that, we went out and controlled the game and did just enough to scrape up all 3 points. And Leganes, they were defending deep with a 5-3-2 formation and Barcelona had to be patient. They were looking to grind down the opponents and wait for them to get tired. The players, of course, could have given more, but they went there on the field with the mindset to control the game, patiently wait for any cracks in the Leganes formation to take advantage of it with individual brilliance, and that is exactly what happened out there. And I can understand why Barcelona took that approach, and practically speaking, there's absolutely no need to go gung-ho and spend all that energy and risk injuries against a team like Leganes. There are bigger fish to fry out there, and there's no secret that the fans, they are demanding. They want entertainment. They want to see Barcelona go out there and deliver a mouth-watering high-octane football every time they step on the pitch. They want to see 4, 5, 6 goals against a team like Leganes, and that's understandable. But at times, you simply need to be cynical and win games despite playing ugly. Because the important thing here is that we got maximum points, and the pressure now is mounting on Real Madrid. They have to play catch-up. And you know what they usually say, the markings of a great team is that you win matches without having played at your best. But now let's talk about the starting lineup for a minute. Setien made a couple of changes to the squad which started against Mallorca. He made a total of 5 changes. He decided to go with Langley at the back to partner up with Piqué. And Jordi Alba, he got a yellow card against Mallorca and this was his 5th for the season and therefore he was suspended for this game. And this meant that Junior Firpo got the chance to shine. He was actually the better player on the field. He got himself in good position and he's used his pace up and down the right side which caused all kinds of problems for Leganes. And he ultimately got rewarded with an assist. He used his pace and pounced on a ball near the Leganes 16-yard. He passed the ball to Ansu Fati, who didn't think twice and fired the ball between the legs of the Leganes defender and put the ball past the goalkeeper. It was 1-up for Barcelona, and this kid is simply amazing. It was his 5th goal of the season. This youngster is exceptional, and I'm absolutely delighted about it. The second goal came in the 69th minute from a penalty after Perez pushed Messi in the 16-yard box. The decision went to VAR, who ultimately gave the penalty. And I have to say it was a bit harsh. The penalty there wasn't a clear-cut one, but Messi wasted no time. He hit the ball with speed on the right side of the keeper who went to the opposite side. But now let's talk about how each player did and rank them accordingly. Ter Stegen in the goal had very little to do. Leganes had only 2 shots on target the whole game, 1 in each half. And Langlet blocked the first one and the second one Ter Stegen saved comfortably. Even though Ter Stegen had little to do in this game, the fact is that he's a great asset to Barcelona with the ball at his feet. I give him a 6. And in the right back position, we have Sergio Roberto. He had a quiet night and he wasn't as lively as he was in the first game against Mallorca because Leganes killed space more effectively than Mallorca did. And as a result, he found it hard to have any meaningful impact on the proceedings. I give him a 6. Similar to the Mallorca game, Piqué had very little to do. And I'm surprised he didn't fall asleep actually there. And he tried to be involved in the game by venturing forward a couple of times and try to get involved in the attack in a typical Piqué fashion. I give him a 6. Lenglet played alongside Piqué and he put in a great performance, especially in the first half. He saved Barcelona from embarrassment as he made an important block on the goal line. I give him a 7. Junior Firpo for me was one of the better players on the field. He had a great connection with Fati and it eventually paid off as he provided the assist for Fati's goal. I give him a 7. Busquets is the unsung hero. His performances often goes unnoticed but for all the right reasons. He's underappreciated but his contribution to this team is undeniable. I give him 7. Rakitic for me is a waste of time. He does nothing out of the ordinary. He offers very little going back and forward and he lacks the cutting edge to create anything meaningful. I give him a 4. Arthur seemed a little bit out of shape. He hasn't played a lot in the last 5 months and it showed. But he made a lot of passes, but most of them were side passes. We need him to get back to his best quickly. Neither he or Rakitic makes vertical runs into the opposition box as Vidal does, something Barcelona definitely missed in the first half. I give Arthur 5. And this is something I don't say often, but Messi had a quiet night for his standards. Leganes marked him very well, and he didn't find much space as he did in the Mallorca game. In this game, he played a playmaker role, and every time he got the ball at his feet, he was looking for his teammates. But to no avail. The team movement was too poor, but Messi is Messi and he always finds a way to impact the proceedings. And he scored a goal from a penalty he created himself. I give him 7. But where do we start with Griezmann? I feel sorry for him actually, I really do. We all want him to succeed badly, but he is being outshined here by a 17-year-old kid Fati and the former Leganes striker Braithwaite. Griezmann doesn't offer much considering the amount Barca paid for him. He struggles to find his role in this team. He's just a shadow of the player he once was at Atletico. I give him a 4. Last but not least, we got the 17-year-old sensation Fati, who for me was the best player on the night. He was willing to take on players, trying to make the difference and breaking down players in 1-versus-1 situations. He was everything Griezmann wasn't. He gets an 8. And on a final note, guys, I'm really excited about the fact that Riqui Puig got some playing time in this game. And I love Setien for showing trust in the youngsters. And I remember vividly under Valverde, we often struggled even against bottom teams. Under him, we habitually fell back to protect a slim lead, inviting pressure by dropping too deep and giving the opposition a chance to get back in the game. But not with Setien. We have much more control under Setien and he understands the meaning of being on the front foot. And this allows the team to play the youngsters and give them some much needed minutes in the first team. And as soon as Puig came on the pitch, he was demanding the ball, getting into spaces, making runs and taking on players. He might have what you call an inexperienced touch. At least he takes risks and he is brave on the ball. Here's hoping he gets more playing time sooner rather than later. This game here wasn't as entertaining as the first game against Mallorca, but at least we got the job done and sealed the 3 points. But now let's forget this match and look ahead to the Sevilla game in few days. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with the player ratings? And if you want more match analysis, previews and reviews on all types of Barcelona related stuff, then start now by subscribing and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. But until then, Visca el Catalunya. Hello everybody, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Darin and this is another edition of FCB Reports. Going into this game against Leganes, there were big going into this game against Leganes, we were a big